It's Tuesday afternoon, and you know what that means. It's time for Randomity with the Random Kristian Show. Today, the Random Kristian Show is interviewing actor and animal trainer Michael Beran. The Random Kristian Show is brought to you by Mrs. A's famous Salsa BUENA, a unique blended salsa loaded with cilantro and just the right amount of heat. Mrs. A's famous Salsa BUENA is available in stores across Northern California, Colorado, Nevada, and Southern Oregon. To find a store near you, just visit mrsafamous.com. The Random Kristian Show is proudly supported by The Advisor. The Advisor is a Facebook group created by Colonel James Neal Broadus, composed of multi-talent such as actors, directors, artists, writers, and more. If you fall into this category, contact them on Facebook at The Advisor. The Random Kristian Show can now be seen on the Good Wives Network, TV for women, by women. The Good Wives Network starts streaming soon over on Roku, Android TV, and Amazon TV. Intro music provided by the Dead Campers. Check them out on Spotify and at deadcampers.com. Next week, the Random Kristian Show is interviewing content creator Cecil Lowe. My name is Andy, and now here's your host, Kristian Random.
Okay, sorry, can't help but do that during that bit there. Yeah, it's my favorite part. Hey, welcome to the show. I am Kristian Random. Hey yo, Andy.
Why aren't you in the studio today?
I
didn't shower. Is that why? My BO finally caught up to me, huh?
Well, actually, because I didn't shower often enough, we had to have the studio removed.
What are you talking about?
We're rebuilding.
I'm in the studio. The studio's right here. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I need to.
I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio. I showed up for work today, mister.
I'm on the road. How's that sound?
You're on tour. The Random Kristian. You're the Random Kristian Show live tour. That's right.
Yeah, there we go. Live from the bedroom of my my in-laws. Yeah. So.
Well, that's awesome. How much did they pay to get you there?
No, they're paying to get me out. Is
right.
Working out.
So how is the move going, sir? Let me ask.
It's going very. Actually, the flooring and carpet is all done now, so we can actually start moving things in, but still have to paint. So that's going to be creative. So
that's okay. Are you going to do a nice sort of mural on the wall? Maybe a abstract version of the Random Kristian Show logo, I think, on one side?
Well, that's going to be all over the place. But then it's also, I'm just going to wear like a bodysuit, and I'm going to jump in a little pile of paint and then slap up against the walls.
There you go. There you go. I like it.
Abstract, fun, increasingly maniacal, and
of course.
Which, I mean, that fits this show pretty well.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's on brand for sure.
It's right in line.
There you go. There you go.
So yes, it's Tuesday. I'm out of sorts, but Andy's in the studio, and
I'm here.
Pretty soon I'll have a studio to join with him. And actually, if I figure out, I've never done a mobile show yet. So
well, hey, there's a first time for everything. I mean, come on.
And we're learning as we go. Yes.
That's the best way to do it.
So, there's no, it's not.
No.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely not the best way to handle stuff. No, for sure.
Well, it wouldn't be the Random Kristian Show without moments like these.
That's very true. That's very true. But
thankfully, where my camera
with the wonderful invention of the internet and mobile devices, you're able to be here today.
Yes. Yeah.
It worked out.
And so yes. So here I am. And there you are.
Yeah, that's me. That's you. That's me. Oh,
right.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
So I'm super excited to our guest today is so cool. Not only is he a great actor, and acted in zombie movies and like Sasquatch movies, and he and we had to correct this. I was saying animal wrangler.
Right.
We found out that there is a hierarchy order of animal handling on the movie sets and stuff like that, and he is the animal trainer.
Right.
He's the upper tier escalon of animal people. So he's the animal trainer.
I feel like anybody could wrangle, but you need to have a lot of education and a lot of stuff to train.
Well, yeah, so. And we've seen from swamp people that there is a lot of wranglers out there for alligators. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, we've moved into a new world order of animal handling, and I just thought it was very new. I was like, oh wow, but I mean, wrangler just sounds kind of cool, and he is so cool. I just figured things would work together, but actually things kind of
they did not mesh well.
No, and I had to use Gorilla Glue to get things to
all right, okay,
together kind of.
Yeah,
and then my hands were stuck like this for about a day and a half. So
that's why you didn't pick up. All right,
that's okay. On that, yeah. So and I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to get my my studio background.
I wouldn't worry about that. I think we're okay. Let the illusion die today.
Okay, fine. The fake background isn't working. So anyway, okay. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Heyo.
Thank you all, Good Wives Network, for carrying us. And we hope everybody is checking us out on the Good Wives Network or Spreaker.com. And big thanks, of course, to Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena, which, as Andy said in the opening, you can find in several locations out west and soon to be nationwide from what we're hearing. So the good stuff is spreading. And trust me, even if you kind of like salsa, you will love salsa after you try this stuff. I promise you.
Yeah, well, and go to the Random Christian Show page and watch our tasting.
Yes.
Of Mrs. A's famous salsa, because it is it was quite the eye-opening experience for sure.
Yeah, and we just got to eat lots of chips and salsa. So
come on, that's the best.
AMSR at its finest,
right?
Because it was visual and sound. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I know. I'll just let it go at that point. So Andy, I'm very excited. Oh, and by the way, just in case they happen to watch the show 94.9 KCMO, we know
we've applied,
and we're waiting to hear from you.
Right.
Because you need this. You need this there, and we want to be there. So, and usually I look a lot better than this. I know that. Andy looks great. Andy's got
well, I mean, it's me. Come on.
I'm living out of a suitcase. I am the man in the suitcase, as the Police song states. So, which, by the way, is still the greatest band in the world.
Yeah.
So we, in honor of our guest, which we normally do, our Random 9 list is now centered around our guests that we're bringing on today. So our crack squad of researchers and developers and creators of mayhem came up with 9 random reasons animal training or wrangling should be an Olympic event.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. Yes, and I know Andy is very excited because I don't have my soundboard available, so I can't put annoying noises with it. Yeah, actually, there's probably quite a few people who are quite entertained by that fact now.
Right, of course.
So, without our intro music and much further ado, we figured we'd go ahead and start the 9 random reasons, animal training or wrangling should be an Olympic event. And I guess I will start it off. We don't really have a drum roll. So
No.
number 9, alligator wrestling. Enough said.
That could be very, very dangerous. I don't see. If you survive, do you win? Do you get the gold if you come out with your life?
That and a pair of boots, I'm going to say. Maybe a belt or two.
Right.
Or a fancy hat, cowboy hat.
Oh, there you go.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8, I've fallen down this YouTube rabbit hole quite a bit. But number 8, the panda escape. Because pandas just want to play. They just want to sit there and play. And if you ever see the people who take care of pandas in their little bins, like all the pandas do is climb on you and like they try to get out, but then the pandas run and like sort of like grab onto your legs and they just get dragged along. So I just think the panda escape would be the cutest Olympic event ever.
Okay. See, I thought maybe you were making some sort of fun of Panda Express.
No.
No. So this was actual panda. I figured maybe we were eating pandas or something.
No.
They're endangered, aren't they? So that probably wouldn't be
not anymore. I don't think they are anymore. Yeah.
Well, let's go hunting some panda. I heard it's
Oh, come on. Come on.
You had stir-fry panda?
No, don't hunt the pandas. Don't hunt the pandas.
You had to have that one ready, didn't you?
Oh, there are several within distance. My son is obsessed with the stuffed panda.
Oh,
there are literally 5 within grabbing distance right here from me.
Oh my gosh! Do not tell X that I was talking about eating pandas. Oh God! And for those of you at home, pandas just randomly keep popping on the screen. So just in case you ever get a chance to watch the show, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Oh my God.
Okay, hold on. Before we can move on, before we move on, this one is actually an original Beanie Baby.
Oh.
This was from the first run. Now, this sat on my windshield of my first car for years. It's bleached, like the colors all bleached out and everything. But in its heyday, I drove up to Lake Tahoe when I still lived in California, and some guy saw it on my dashboard, and he says, "Is that what I think it is?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's one of the original runs of the TY Beanie Babies." He's like, "I'll give you $300 for it." I'm like, nope. My mom gave it to me. I still have them.
Aw.
So there you go.
Well played.
Yeah.
It's probably worth about $3,000 now.
No, not in this condition. Gray up top, black up bottom.
The panda.
I know.
They're black and white, you know.
Yeah. Or blue.
That's a sad panda.
He's wearing a party hat. What are you talking about?
No.
He is extremely happy.
Maybe having a party for being so incredibly sad.
Number 7.
Moving to number 7. Which number 7 is hippo polo.
Ooh, okay.
If you've never seen this played, you would understand why it is such an Olympic sport.
Yes.
1, breath control. Riding a hippo underwater takes a lot of breath control. Only guys like Laird Hamilton can handle such things. So, there's a lot of training involved, and plus just making sure you don't get eaten by the hippo if you fall off. Always a good idea. You know, there are more deaths by hippo than alligators or crocodiles.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I don't want to see that, but yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to see it either, but it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
Probably wouldn't be much to see. It's just a guy and then gone.
Right.
Those are,
pretty
large creatures.
Yeah.
Oh, let that one slide now. Okay, number 6.
Number 6. I think the danger level of this one is right up there with alligator wrestling. Yeah. Trim the lion's mane.
Oh, yeah. Dosa, little kitty.
Like,
Let
see,
me come clip your hair.
right. See how far you, right. See how far you can get before bodily injury happens.
Yeah. Walking towards the king of the jungle with a
buzzer. Yeah.
scissors and just need a little trimmy trim. You're a little shaggy. No. Yeah. Well, you could come out with one arm.
Right. Yeah.
Number 5, which I found very interesting because it was an Olympic event at one point, but it's very dated. Puffin landmine sweeping back in the World War II days. It's not actually an event anymore, but it does explain what happened to all the puffins. Just saying.
Yeah.
They were, used for, they'd toss them out there. And they hit a landmine.
And no. Yeah. Oh, too soon, Kristian. Too soon.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Come on. We have nothing but respect for the admirable puffin on the show.
The admirable puffin.
The majestic puffin.
Majestic. There.
Yes.
Far better than admirable.
Right.
I mean, who really, even when they were alive, who admired a puffin?
I don't know, but I guarantee you some animal group's going to see this and get on us.
Hey, we were already talking about eating pandas, so I'm pretty sure PETA's on the hotline as we speak.
Right.
And maybe this is reason why 94.9 KGMO hasn't
called.
They're like, we're gonna have FCC issues. It's not even
right. Yeah.
No, we'll be good. Plus,
yeah.
Button. We
can play. We can play with the FCC. Come on.
Number 4.
Number 4. Guess whose pants the ferret is in?
I almost like the other version.
Right. Yeah.
Guess whose parents are the ferrets in?
Right. Yeah. But no. Guess whose pants the ferret is in? Because I mean,
I used to own ferrets.
Oh, really?
That's an actual event.
yeah, right.
You'd just be sitting there playing with them on the floor. All of a sudden, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And because they like to do that. Number 3, topical for the show, by the way, Sasquatch hide and seek.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess Sasquatch is an animal, so
yeah.
They smell like an animal, hairy like animal. Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. Which, leads a lot of people to believe it's just a very drunken Russian hairy man running around the forest.
Right.
But, and they are the kings of hide and seek, by the way. So, really.
Yeah.
Champion. So, you find the Sasquatch, you win the game.
That's good.
Number 2.
Pin the hat on the giraffe. I mean, come on, that takes expert skill, climbing, right? You have to have some respect for the animal as you go up the neck, right? And I mean, and then you have to get a hat on. I mean, come on,
and you've got to pin it on it. So
and you got to pin it on and make it away with your life.
Once you fall off the giraffe, you ain't getting back.
Right. Yeah. So
are gonna get calls from PETA, dude.
No, we really are. Yeah, we're starting this one in the on a great note.
Yeah, I know. We need the drum roll. All right, number 1. Politician in the tiger pit. Self-explanatory, nothing left to say.
Ooh, that's a good one. We'll just hum all our music today. There we go.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a bass guitar behind you. I'm just saying.
Oh, hey, if you want me to score the show, I'll score the show. Right. Yeah. Also, we got the Bacon Whisperer in the chat. Just walked in. Panda tastes pretty good. There he is.
And it does taste pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially when cured and smoked in strips and put in a pan,
and you got to have bacon with it, apparently.
Or panda bacon.
Oh,
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I think it's time. It's time.
It's time to. And see, I don't have I need my studio. Okay, I need to be in our studio. That's what I'm going to say.
Right.
Bacon is the
duct tape of food. No, that's for sure. That is for sure.
And that's Tony Adams, the Bacon Whisperer. He is going to be on the show here in about a month.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yes, very excited about that. So thanks for joining in with us here, Tony. All right, I think it's time to bring in our guest.
Yeah.
Without further ado, the man we've been talking about, not only is he an animal trainer, he's a great actor, been in all sorts of movies. I mean, there's a list. And I think he does some modeling too. I'm just saying. Oh. I do. You look at his headshot. It's like, wow.
That's good. Yeah, that's a solid shot right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I'm used to looking at this every day. So.
Yeah. Right.
Anything.
Oh, you know what? If we had your studio, I think an appropriate bring-in song would be "Who Let the Dogs Out."
Oh, I was thinking "Run Through the Jungle" by Creedence Clearwater.
That works. That works too. Or "Barracuda,"
better known
by Heart.
Oh,
Barracuda. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Or Def Leppard's "Animal." I mean, come on, the possibilities are endless here.
We could have done a little menagerie of songs.
Yeah. A medley of our favorite animal themed songs. But without further ado, let's get
times two without further ado. Yeah. You guys are having way too much fun.
we stretched that opening segment just a little too long.
That's great. Well, thanks for having me on the show. You guys are great. I've been enjoying it in the green room.
Yeah.
The snacks are great, by the way. Thanks. I appreciate y'all setting those out for me.
Good. All animal free, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No animals were harmed in our snacks.
All right. Don't get me started down that train.
No.
Let's talk about all the animals that were devastated just to grow those soybeans.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't get me started on soybeans because hey Michael, thank you so much for taking time. Dude, you're like everywhere doing everything. It's
I'll tell you, the reason my hair looks like this is because I just came from Little Rock. I'm in my hotel room right now. We just wrangled 1,000 bats out of a school here in Little Rock, and so
wow,
I'm frazzled, man. I've been wrestling bats all morning.
Okay, so let's just start right there.
All right.
How do you wrangle bats, for God's sakes? These are flying rats that are everywhere, and I mean, and they have better sonar sight. I mean, they're that just sounds like trying to hurt bats.
So add on top of that all the rules and regulations, because one, bats are not vermin. Bats are a protected species of mammal, and there's a lot of rules. For instance, you can't touch bats, you can't harm bats, you cannot prevent a bat from flying on its own accord. And so we've got a whole bag of tricks to meet all the rules, but yet get the bats out of the public school and put them back into the sky where they belong. And it does take a little bit of skill, I'll tell you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So basically, they just wanted, like, they were nesting in the school roof or something, or.
Yeah. So these particular bats are Brazilian free-tail bats, and there's particular species, and they've made it all the way up north to Little Rock. And if you drew a line across Little Rock to Dallas, they've made it that far north. But they love stone structures. And this school that we're at, and I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's an older school, and it's got a lot of stone architecture. and they find cracks or they find hollows and voids, and they get in there, and then every once in a while they get lost and they end up inside the building. And I don't know if you know what happens when you mix teenage children with bats. You know, it's like if you need an excuse to evacuate a school and go home, there you go.
Right.
You know,
you mean you don't just get bad Twilight movies when you mix teens with bats?
Well, mixed teens with bats and wolves, right?
Right.
Then you'll get some bad. Then you'll get some bad movies.
Well, and actually, grown men kind of act the same way as teenage girls when there's a bat, because when I worked at a place in Wisconsin out on the dock, we would have bats like almost dive bomb us. And those, I'm not going to say where this was. It's a company I don't work for anymore, but some of the guys thought it was fun to actually catch the bat and throw it inside somebody's truck while they not know.
No.
And then the guy would open the truck and the bat would come flying out, and hilarity would ensue, and it was a great time. But
yeah, it's amazing. Luckily, Hollywood from the 1940s and 50s really demonized bats and vampires and scared the heck out of everybody. And so when people think about bats, or if somebody wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a bat flying around in their bedroom, man, they are in crisis mode.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They are in crisis mode. And that's why I have a business model, you know? So.
Well, and I mean, bats are actually incredibly helpful to the world we live in. I mean, imagine all the mosquitoes and flies and whatnot that would be around bugging us if it weren't for El Bato.
Well, it's not only that. If it weren't for bats, we humans would have no food, none, because the insects would eat it all, because we cannot apply enough pesticides to keep our crops safe. Bats eat thousands of tons of insects every night, and a lot of these insects are insects like the corn moth and cutworm moth, and that destroy our crops. And those particular insects, pesticides don't really work on them, because they have to eat the vegetation in order for the pesticide to kill them, but they've already killed the vegetation. So the bats get in there and kill the moths before they lay the eggs. Therefore, we have food.
Boom. And there it is, the circle of life.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yep.
One of my I have family in Austin, and one of my favorite things we did when we were there was watch the bats fly out at sunset, which was just incredible. I mean, the sheer volume of the bats that live under that bridge is just incredible. And like, I just figured like it was just going to be like a handful of people that came out and watched. No,
it's a spectacle.
It was packed. Like, it was packed. And I'm like, there can't be this many tourists in Austin right now watching bats. Like, no, man, people come out and watch it.
So that species of bat, the free-tailed bat, is the same one I was dealing with here in Little Rock. It's the same ones that live in the bridge there. And they develop huge maternal colonies.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah. No, like they just kept going. Like it went on for quite a while. They just kept flying out. It was really impressive.
Yeah.
Chris,
watching that mass. If you go to Carlsbad Caverns, you can see different species, but they come out the same way in this big swirling, like a big tornado that comes out of those caverns.
Oh, wow.
And it just goes on and on and on. And you're like, when will it stop? So many creatures. Really cool. It is amazing.
That's so cool.
So now I gotta know which came first, the chicken or the egg. So were you an actor, then an animal trainer, or animal trainer, then an actor? Did they both happen at the same time? I mean, how I say it? I get it. You handle a lot of animals on set and whatnot, but I mean, which happened first?
So it's a process. So first, I became a master falconer. First,
yes.
Okay.
And I trained birds of prey, and then in Shreveport, Louisiana, Paramount had a project they were doing. They asked me to fly an owl for their project, And then the WGN had a series called Salem that they started. Again, they needed an owl, and then we moved into some other animals. And so I definitely started animal training first. But I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business guy. I'm a hustler. And it didn't take me long to learn how to work a set, you know?
Right.
Like, it didn't take me long to figure out, well, I'm on this set for 6 hours. I'm going to fly this bird for 15 minutes. What else can I do? You know?
Be something going
and
on.
so and so I found out really quick how to find out when someone didn't show up or when somebody was fired, and could I do that? You know.
Yeah.
So I became the best sandbag handler a lot of sets have ever seen. You know. Because I mean, if it was not a union set, man, I would move sandbags, because that was just something that was always needed on a set.
Yeah.
You know. And I learned how to pick up trash. I didn't know picking up trash, you could get so many accolades for just picking up trash, you know, and putting it in the trash can, you know. But I just started hustling sets. But my best hustle, this is my best hustle. We were on a Samuel Jackson set, all right? And I was just hired to do some animal training. And in addition, I was hired as background talent. Well, there's about 80 people sitting around in a cemetery. And I'm like, why are we all just standing around? So I started moving up, found the second AD, asked who the first AD was. They pointed him out. I went to the first AD and I said, hey, what's going on? And he goes, oh, the backhoe operator that's supposed to dig the grave for Samuel Jackson didn't show up. And man, I whipped out my wallet really quick and I said, you know, I have a card. I have a heavy equipment operator's card. I can operate that backhoe. And man, you never seen somebody get a pay bump and get paperwork signed so fast. Yeah, so that's my claim to fame in that particular movie is I operated the backhoe on that with some other stuff, you know. But yeah, hustling the set. I hustled the set, and then I got into some stunt work with the Las Vegas Stunt Academy, and I really enjoyed that. And then I said, you know, I really should take acting classes, and so I started taking acting classes just to kind of get a feel for it, so I wouldn't look so silly on set, you know, or on screen. And some of it stuck. Some of it has stuck, you know.
Wow. So. And okay, so the acting developed. Now you have, and I'm sorry, I don't have my notes got packed away by accident, so I apologize. But now you have an involvement with Sasquatch. Now you played Sasquatch? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So you should take notes on this, okay? Because there's a movie out that's called Drone Down. It does have an IMDb page. Okay, yeah. But it's DRONE down, DOWN, Drone Down. So not only do I play a character, Chief Lopez, in this, but I have the best brand placement in this movie that you have ever seen, because this logo and this uniform is on every person in that movie.
Oh, wow.
And I play 7 different Sasquatch in the movie. 7 different Sasquatch. You know?
Okay. So as an actor, okay, and you know that you're gonna have to play 7 different Sasquatch in the movie. Did you give them all any sort of distinct personality traits?
Yes. Yep.
So you went the full 9 on this.
I sure did. Well, first off, I got to tell you, I had to wear a 350-pound Sasquatch costume, and I had to walk on 27-inch stilts at the same time. And one of my scenes, I have to pick up a 122-pound girl, throw her over my shoulder while I'm on stilts, and walk through the forest on uneven forest.
No.
And there's a lot of running scenes. I got 2 death scenes. Man, I'm gonna tell you what.
Which the death scenes were actually real. You actually being in a 350-pound suit on 27-inch stilts.
Man, I tell you what, it's a great movie, and they just finished redoing it. So it did have a red carpet event, and we went to see it. It was great. they took some notes and fixed some things, cut some long. You know how sometimes you got these little long things. It just went on too far.
Right.
And then they really fixed the sound in it. And I just watched the updated version of it. That's not been distributed yet. It's in a distribution deal right now, but it is going to be so good. I mean, if you like Sasquatch, you're going to love this. You really will.
Honestly,
but yeah, so I had, I gave
wait.
a couple of the Sasquatch had different gaits, different walks,
Yeah.
definitely had one that had an injured arm and an injured leg because he couldn't move it quite right, so, and then the costumes, they had different faces for these Sasquatch. And there's a scene in there where they have 5 of us walk into by the way, it's all me, walk into a clearing. And the way the director shot that and sold it is so good because it looks like 5 different individuals coming in.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. I'm adding this to my watch list right now.
It is good. You will not be disappointed. A lot of times people will overpromise stuff. I'm not overpromising on this one. You don't really like it. You don't really like it.
I mean, honestly,
7 different Sasquatch.
You had me sold at 7 different Sasquatch. Like that. Like I was. Yeah, you really had me at hello on that one. But I mean, come on. That was just
yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I think this is going to become a cult classic for people that just love Bigfoot, love Sasquatch.
I guarantee it.
I really think that it's gonna resonate well with them.
Yeah. Well, Andy lives in the land of Sasquatch, by the way. So.
Right. Yeah. I'm up in Salem, Oregon. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. I had my first trip to the Pacific Northwest this past summer.
Oh yeah.
Well,
what do you think?
It was actually fall. I think we went in late September. Yeah, we went up to Olympic National Park and we went up to see the salmon run at the ladder up there.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really, and we were looking for salamanders. Like I love salamanders. You know?
And
there's a little bitty tiny salamander in the Olympic State Park. It's called a torrid salamander. And we hiked in like 7 miles and finally we found some. And then once we found one, we found like 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was a great trip. Oh, great. The big yellow with black spot banana slugs. We found a bunch of those. Those things were just stuff I don't see,
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Roosevelt elk, Teddy Roosevelt elk. We found some of those. Yeah. It was a good trip, really good trip. We got some of it going up on our YouTube channel, the Pacific Northwest.
Great.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That area is pretty cool. It's 57 years I've been alive and I've never been there. So
well,
it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, so we Kristian and I both come from Northern California, but I got priced out of California a few years ago, and my job moved up to Portland, and I don't have to go in every day, so we decided to come to Salem, and we haven't looked back.
He doesn't go in any day.
No, I really don't. Yeah, I'm like Gollum in my office over here. But no, it's it's amazing up here. We have actual seasons, which is wonderful. I now know what snow looks like and feels like. But no, it's amazing up here. It's incredible. Right. No, not
that's the California right there.
All right. Speaking of which, and Michael, you might appreciate this too. My wife and I saw Cocaine Bear this last weekend.
Oh, have you? I haven't been yet, but everybody's telling me about it.
It's it's an incredible movie. First off, I had no idea that Elizabeth Banks directed it.
Oh,
I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's so great.
It's definitely on my watch list. Everybody's been telling me about it, and I just haven't got around to doing it. I've been wrangling too many animals.
Yeah.
Now, are any of them strung out on heroin or coke?
Not yet. Not that we found. But almost all the states over here that I operate in, they have recreational use. So you never know what's going to happen.
And which explains a lot of my past, by the way. So I did want to bring up Cocaine Bear. Now, just because you do, number one, it's a movie, and you're an actor, and you train animals. Something like that, where I mean, have you heard of anything else like that happening? Where like, there's a drug cartel plane that goes down, and animals go in, and they're eating the dead people or whatever, but then they get caroused up, and I mean, because I'm sure you had to have run into something like that through your line of work, your lines of work, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the answer is yes, yes, and yes. And I've got a great story of something very similar. Like this, like this really happened. So my grandparents, my great grandparents were first generations Americans. All right. They all come, all my family, my heritage comes from Czechoslovakia. And when they moved to Texas, they bought a huge farm and they started planting tobacco, and they were tobacco farmers. And when I'm the oldest of 4 boys, my mom had 4 boys, I'm the oldest. And when we would go spend summers with my great grandparents, we ate like they ate. And now I'll tell you, this house they lived in had no running water and it had no electricity. I mean, they lived very much off the land. Well, one of the things that they fixed for us every morning was biscuits and honey. And we would eat that honey because it was so good. That honey was the blackest honey you've ever seen. And us 4 boys were so buzzed from eating that nicotine laced honey from the honeybees that were eating or gathering nectar from the tobacco plants. And so you want to see 4 boys running through the woods, just buzzed on our mind. That was us every morning, because we were sitting there eating honey that was full of nicotine.
Wow.
Had
That's
that
incredible.
nicotine content to it. Yeah. So it was pretty crazy. But, along the way, we've heard a lot of different stories. We've run into a lot of things of where animals ingest different types of chemicals, and they certainly act completely different.
Yeah.
And that does happen more often than you probably would think,
Right. Yeah. Well, and the premise of the movie is actually based on real events.
It is.
Where drugs did fall from the sky, a bear did get into him, but OD'd within like a minute or so. But yeah, I think they used the actual news footage from the event in the movie.
Yeah, I like some of that found footage type of look. I really do. I can appreciate it, especially after I've directed and produced a couple of films myself. But that found footage stuff, it's its own genre,
No,
and I really like it.
Really is. Yeah.
But one of the things we run into the most though are animals that are intoxicated. Like that's the most thing we run into. There are natural intoxicants that some animals run into, but raccoons have an uncanny ability to open beer bottles and beer cans. And we run into drunk raccoons. You think a sober raccoon is something to deal with. Wait till you run into a drunk raccoon.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's something entirely different to deal with.
So raccoons are the alcoholics of the animal kingdom.
Yes, they are.
That's amazing.
I think moose or elk would be, but
no,
I'm horribly wrong.
So squirrels come in second. Squirrels are the animal kingdom lightweight of the animal kingdom. Squirrels can get drunk from eating a pumpkin that has fermented after Halloween.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense because I've seen squirrels jump and miss trees in our backyard quite a bit.
And it was just after October. It was in November.
I think it must have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh no, that's amazing.
And
you mentioned
go hold my pumpkin.
Right.
And go for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. You mentioned the raccoons. Sorry, real quick. You mentioned the raccoons. One of my favorite movie moments with raccoons is The Great Outdoors with John Candy, where they subtitle the raccoons during those sequences.
Yeah.
And like ever since then, like whenever that movie's on, it's a classic movie. Dan Aykroyd, John Candy. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong. But those segments in that movie, I loved that, the raccoon part. I just thought they were hilarious.
Yeah, raccoons always hold the stage in a lot of different movies,
Yeah.
Ace Ventura had some really good raccoon scenes in it. And of course, and I love Rocket and Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Who can go with that? But if you watch our reality TV show on Discovery Plus, it's called Barehands Rescue. One of my sayings in there is that I love all animals except raccoons. Because I've got more stitches from raccoons than any other animal.
Oh.
So
Well,
it's raccoons or something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And anybody on the audio side or anybody that's watching, just joining in, we have Michael Beran. He's an actor and animal trainer extraordinaire, and working with Wildlife Command Center, which I want to get into here. But also, you have another thing you're dealing with the raptor or raptor rescue. Am I saying that right?
You got it. Raptor Rescue Incorporated.
Yes, and I think that's amazing because again, you're an expert falconer, which when I was younger, my friend actually had a falcon that he trained for a while and stuff, and we used to feed it, live mice and stuff, which, but it was very interesting to watch. I mean, he would let it go, and I'm like, dude, that bird's gone, and he's like, nope, watch, and that thing would circle and boom, and then come right back to him. I was like, okay, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
But of course, then I got to do it and hold him, and then he brought the mouse back, and I got to watch it eat out of my hand. I still
whether
have that.
Whether you wanted to or not, huh?
Yeah, no, it happened, and it was just like, wow, okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, we do the audio section too, so I just try to remind people of who we're talking with here, Michael. So I apologize.
Yeah, that's no problem. And just to touch on Raptor Rescue Inc., I am a master falconer, and so birds of prey are very near and dear to me. And so we have a nonprofit called Raptor Rescue Inc., where we go out and we rescue birds of prey, hawks, eagles, falcons that have been injured by humans typically, not on purpose always, but they get hit by cars, they run into windows, they get electrocuted. We go out and we provide first aid at the injury site, injury stabilization, and then transportation to wherever we need to take them so that they can get better. So we do that with Raptor Rescue.
And
that's cool.
Working in the transportation industry, you would be well, I'm sure you wouldn't, but the world would be very surprised how many owls hit the windshields of speeding trucks. Probably more than deer.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's just crazy. I mean, you hear about it almost every other night. Oh yeah, that now slammed right into my windshield, and windshield's just smashed. It is absolutely crazy. And I'm like, well, what happened to the wind? Or the owl? And of course they're like, well, what do you think? And then you're just like, oh, dude, because it's an owl, and I think owls are amazing. But yeah, it's really, really crazy how much, and again, like you're saying, it's not intentional. There's all sorts of things that happen just because of us humans in the world. So now Wildlife Command Center, and then I want to get into your Discovery show too. But Wildlife Command Center, let's talk a little bit about that. What all are you doing out there with this?
Well, you can't have any fun with anything unless you have some way to finance it.
Right.
No.
That.
And so Wildlife Command Center. Wildlife Command Center is our bread and butter. That's what we do for a paycheck every day, day in, day out. We're just very, very passionate about it. We rescue people from wild animals. That's what we do. And in St. Louis is our headquarters. St. Louis, Missouri is our headquarters. We got 7 trucks on the road there. Last year we did $3 million in business just rescuing people from wild animals.
Okay, let's explain how this happens. So because there's all sorts of scenarios running through my head. How are we rescuing people from wild.
Well, let me tell you about a situation that happened Friday. Okay, I had a middle-aged man call me in crisis, and this is what he said: a raccoon has fallen through my toddler's ceiling and is in the bedroom, but I shut the door. And I said, "Okay, is your child okay?" He goes, "I don't know. She's in there asleep."
Oh my God.
And so I was like, "Well, I really think you should open the door and check on her just to see." He goes, "I'm not opening that door." I'm like,
what?
Oh,
this is not a bad dad. This is just a man that's afraid of a raccoon,
Yeah,
wow.
So I get over there. It takes me 13 minutes to get over there because I'm hightailing it, because I'm like, there's a toddler in a room with a raccoon.
Yeah.
This could be really, really bad. I get there. The guy opens the door. I don't really talk to him. I go straight through him. I said, "Where's the room?" He shows me the room. I open the door and I look to see, is the toddler okay? Well, she's in her crib asleep. She's probably 2 years old, 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
She's in her crib asleep. And I look, and there's practically half the ceiling is gone, because there was like an air conditioner leak or something, and the drywall up there was all soggy. Raccoon got on top of it and fell through. I'm looking around for the raccoon. The raccoon was in the closet, curled up on the shelf. Like, it was like, I don't know what just happened, but it's daytime, and daytime means nap time. That's how raccoons think. So I was able to catch the raccoon, and I literally did. This is like, I don't always do it this way, but I literally opened the window to the child's room, kicked the screen out. I grab the raccoon with one hand and I throw it out the window. Like, that's scientific. That's how we resolve that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I just did not want to spend any time, because I didn't want the raccoon to run around. I didn't want the raccoon to touch the child, because here's the thing. If a raccoon touches a child, then the raccoon has to be tested for rabies.
Right.
And if you can't test it for rabies, the child has to get rabies shots.
Yeah.
So it was one of those situations. I was like, well, let's just do this in one swoop. Let's get the raccoon out of the room first. So that's what we did. Then I went through and did all the rest that has to be done. How'd the raccoon get in the attic? What's going on up there? How much fecal matter's in the attic? Are there any young raccoons in the attic? Is that the only raccoon that we have to deal with? So we started working through that. So that's kind of like a basic scenario.
Right.
So,
okay.
So, are you guys like, did this guy just find you in like online search, or like, are you guys like part of an emergency like tier from the police? Like, if someone calls the police and say, "Hey, a raccoon fell through my," call these guys? Or
let me step backwards. Just one step. Okay. First off, I am a marketing mastermind. I am into it constantly. All right.
Okay.
5 years ago, I started developing this concept that's called brand entertainment. All right.
Okay.
I have created entertaining content around my brand, my logo. I have created such a logo that people instantly recognize it.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Like, it is very, very recognizable.
Right.
And I developed like entertaining content around this. I've also mastered SEO.
Okay.
And I've been able to bring SEO to a new level.
Yeah.
And with that, if somebody has a problem with an animal, all they got to do is just type in what the animal's doing, and my number will pop up somehow.
Oh, wow.
So
raccoon through my ceiling.
Hang on just a second. Somehow I got muted.
Oh, we can still hear you. Oh. Uh-oh. All right.
There we go.
Okay, you can hear us?
I can hear you now.
Oh, great. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So someone just types in raccoon through my roof and Wildlife Command Center pops up.
Yeah, or some variation of it. I've got multiple variations of it. I'm gonna take this logo off because it's kind of distracting.
SEO,
okay.
Like you said, the SEO, you just sit there and keep working those hashtag names and things like that, and boom, there it is. Michael Beran's Barehands Wildlife Command Center.
Yeah.
So what's the going rate for raccoon removal from a toddler's room right now?
So it's $350 for me to walk through the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, you know, depending on what's going on, on that particular house, that job ended up being $12,000. And
Whoa.
the homeowner's insurance paid for a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because we had to repair the ceiling. We had to go in and vacuum all of the fecal matter and insulation out of the attic space because it was nasty. You know, then we had to fix wiring. Then we had to put insulation back in.
Yeah.
And of course, we had to do some raccoon trapping and relocation. We had to do some fortifications so that another raccoon come along doesn't go, hey, I want to live up there too.
Right.
I don't know if you remember the Allstate commercial with Mayhem.
Oh, yeah.
But he was a raccoon, and he's like,
yes,
I'm the smartest raccoon I know. He's throwing fluffy pink stuff. I don't know what this fluffy pink stuff is, but it's great. Well, raccoons are just like that, man. They get up in an attic space, and they're like, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, my gosh. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Corey Hall and Leah Guile. Thank you for joining in. And yes, she's absolutely amazed by all the job titles that you own, sir. And seriously, yeah, this is amazing. And I love the fact that, yeah, you've created this all encompassing circle of life between all your jobs and how they relate to each other. So now Wildlife Command Center is the basis of what you're doing. With the raptor rescue as well involved in it. Now, how did the Discovery, it's Discovery Plus, right? Is what that you're on? Okay. And this Barehands rescue, how did that evolve? Is just somebody was like kind of filming you on their phone and you're like, hey, I should see Isabel pitch a show.
I'll tell you how, let me give you the condensed guy version. All right. I was trying to produce better content for my YouTube channel. And I went to some training seminars, and there was a guy there. His name is Michael Francis with Michael Francis Presents. And I said, hey man, I need to up my game on my YouTube channel. I need to make it better. He says, all right, well, let me ride with you to see what you do every day. So I took him out for a day and I rode with him. At the end of the day, he goes, this is not YouTube content. This is a reality TV show. And so he started the ball rolling. You know, we filmed a sizzle reel. We presented it. We went and hustled LA. I mean, we were beating pavement in LA with our sizzle reel. We found a couple of people that were interested in it. Critical Content picked it up and they presented it to Animal Planet. Animal Planet, of course, part of the Discovery Plus network. And and they were like, yeah, let's do this. So we filmed a show, and then you know, it kind of went from there. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
It took 2 years.
Yeah, I've caught little clips of it here and there. Now, and just for people who may not understand, a sizzle reel is basically a bunch of little clips of what you're doing. It's also like if you're in audio work, it's just a bunch of clips of commercial work or things that you've done that you voiced or acted in, things like that. It's a very condensed version of short little things that you've done. So, which that's actually a lot of work to get put together.
Yeah.
At least well done. I've done it, and it obviously put me to where I'm at now. So now, how long has this series been going on?
So the series is only one episode. We kind of got caught up in the Warner Brother merge, and we haven't filmed any of the other episodes, but it's coming along. We also just signed a deal with PBS 9 here locally in Missouri, so we're going to be doing a series with them, and that's all based around Wildlife Command Center and my role as an animal expert. It's going to be pretty good. We also just published a coloring book.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey,
does a grown man get excited about a coloring book? Well,
when he has kids.
Well, And also, if it's his hands that are highlighted throughout the coloring book holding animals, like I never thought I'd be excited about a coloring book, but man, going through the process of developing this coloring book, it's been a blast,
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, those are actually making a huge comeback. People are using it to de-stress themselves and things like that.
Yeah, it's
I
used for therapy.
a Volkswagen coloring book
yeah,
that was given to me as a gift, but yeah, I've kind of doodled in it and been like, yeah, this is kind of fun. But yeah, I digress. We're talking about you, and I'll shut up. So, and I know this may seem like an absolutely insane question, but what's next?
Oh, well, we've
I know
got a
you've
lot.
got something in the works. I know you've got.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot. What's next? I'm really big into developing community, and so in St. Louis, we have started a trivia night, and all of the proceeds go to our raptor rescue. But once a month, we've been doing a trivia night in the St. Louis area, and it's just growing and growing, and we've built this community of people that one love animals, love trivia, and also they want to help out our raptor rescue efforts, and so we're building that out. Every day somebody comes to me and says, hey, have you ever thought about opening an office in Dallas, Fort Smith, Denver?
Right.
And so we are constantly filtering those kinds of opportunities. But it's like anything else. If you have something entertaining, if you have something interesting, as people learn about it, they get excited about it and they want a piece of the action. So you get a lot more opportunity opens up as you grow.
Yes, and yeah, Kansas City, by the way.
I have an office there.
Oh,
yeah.
Should have known.
As a matter of fact, I'll be there on the 23rd if you want to go to dinner.
Dude, yeah, let me. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, no, I would love to meet with you, sir. Absolutely. I know some. There's some good places around here that kind of have decent barbecue. I'm
yeah.
Just saying. I know there's a big conflict between St. Louis barbecue and Kansas City, but it's out there. Especially barbecued panda. I'm not sure that came from Andy, but apparently that's the thing now. So yeah, you're just man. When do you sleep, or do you just nest with bats and take a nap?
That's a really good question because I work.
But you don't.
I work every day because I've got this philosophy that is I just consider it all play, and I consider going into situations that are difficult just like playing a video game and getting past the next level. And I really do think of everything as play, and so it's like tonight, I need to get up at 9 o'clock and go check those bats out to make sure that they're flying around out there and not able to get back in that building,
Right.
But it's no problem because I get to climb on top of a 7-story building at night, and I get to video bats flying all over the place over the edge of the roof, and it's just kind of exhilarating.
So you're Batman is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I wasn't quick enough on the draw on that one.
So I've been holding that in for 3 minutes. Come on.
Andy's a huge Batman fan. Now let me ask you this, and then we're gonna get moving on. But now, when you go to these places and you're helping expel the bats and stuff, do you have stuff there to reseal all these cracks, or do you just find another natural way to distract them from coming back?
No, we use construction materials to seal up. Once we get the bats out safely and we know they're not going to be harmed, and we wait until they've given up. It takes about 7 days. Bats just keep coming back, come back. After about 7 days, they go to wherever their plan B was. And then we'll come in with construction materials and seal those areas up properly so they can't get back in.
Right on. Yeah. No, I kind of figure, but you never know. So nowadays, you've got to use all natural this or something to you know, and which I get, and I'm sure there are lots of ways to, you know, there's people who hang owls to keep pigeons away, things like that. So I wasn't, you know, just something that popped in my head while we were talking. So okay, so Michael, now you've got the Discovery Plus. Is that, besides? I know you're 9 PBS, Channel 9 PBS show, but is that going to be coming back on here soon? I mean, you guys are still kind of hashing things out. What's going on there?
So that is in negotiations. You know,
Mhm.
Discovery owns that now.
Right.
You know, and so as that moves along, and so you know, they've kind of taken it and they've put it on the shelf and they go, okay, this is our show. We've got it here, and when we want to pull it out, we're going to plug it in. You know, so
Right.
that's where we're at with that. But you know, I've got some good movies coming up that I'm going to be in this summer. We've
Oh
got
yes.
we've got several movies that have distribution deals completed, that have just, we've done the red carpet events for, and they're streaming right now. So you know, you could watch it
Okay.
right now if you want to.
All right. Now let's hear some of the titles. One that's coming out. Oh yeah, I don't have my notes. What's the it's coming out in this year, correct?
Yeah, so Night of the Tommy Knockers is one of my favorites that's out right now, that's streaming, you know.
Right.
It's a really great film because there's a couple of guys in there that you'll recognize, definitely some good talent, really nice talent. But I want to give a shout out to Angela Cole, because she is a new talent. And I mean, her character is so spot on. Her character practically carries the film. It really does.
Right.
She did a really good. And Richard Greco was in it, and Robert
Oh wow.
Lasardo, and Tom Sizemore was in it.
Oh.
I know Tom just passed away
Yeah.
recently. But it's a really good, if you want traditional Western horror. Now that doesn't sound like it should go together,
Oh
but
man.
That's not
but
a
it is
too often.
period Western
Okay.
mixed with some horror monsters.
Oh,
You know.
Oh wow.
that's right up my alley.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, you will love it.
I love
You
it.
will love it. But
Oh,
that's
man.
out. And then another one that's coming out that I really like is Arena Wars. Another good one. Michael Madsen's in it. Eric
Wow.
Edwards is in it, and John Wells. John Wells' performance. He's an up and coming actor, but his performance in Arena Wars definitely carries that movie. He's really really good. That's probably, when I was filming it, I didn't realize how important my character was for the show. But they've sent me, the edit draft on it so I could watch it, and I was like, wow, I didn't even realize I had all those lines and all those scenes until you watch it and you go, wow, that's really good, you know. And so that's exciting. That's coming out. Bridge of the Doomed is out right now, streaming. I do like the post-apocalyptic and the zombie genres. You know,
Yeah.
those are like my
Yeah.
two favorites.
Yeah.
And but there's a really good one coming out that we're going to film this summer. It's called Cursed Waters. It's a pirate horror film. Yeah,
Okay.
Cursed
what I'm
Waters.
talking.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We're going to film that in Los Angeles. We've got 2 huge Spanish galleons set up to
Oh
film
wow.
with that. Yeah, and
Oh.
so it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be I'm going to use a lot of my stunt acting work on that. There's a lot of fight scenes. There's a lot of swashbuckling sword play going to be happening with that. So
yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it. Very
Plus,
excited
you get to
about
talk
it.
like a pirate. Hello.
Yeah.
Right.
and then you said, what's next? What's next? So as soon as our YouTube channel hits 100,000 subscribers, which we are steadily on the climb, we gain about 200 subscribers a day. But as soon as we hit 100,000 subscribers, we are going to start filming the RP Saviors. Okay. And it's something we are doing. It's going to be our little thing. It's going to be, do you remember when Walking Dead was on YouTube? Started out on YouTube?
Right. Yeah.
Well, RP Saviors is going to be the same thing. I promise you.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So we've got this backstory put together. It's going to look just like our videos on YouTube, and you're going to be so confused because you can't figure out if this is real or not. You know?
Oh my gosh, this is
you
going to
can't
be
figure
awesome.
out if this is real or not. And so it's going to have some backstory about, all my years on nuclear missiles and working with nuclear bombs, and why I'm resistant to this virus that causes rabid people, RP. And but I feel like RPs can be saved, and the rest of society just wants to kill them,
Yeah.
But what if it's your 8-year-old daughter that becomes rabid? What do? Well, there is a cure, and I'm the only one, pretty much the only one that could administer it.
Yeah.
So,
oh wow.
So it's going to be good. We're going to have a lot of stunt work, a lot of practical effects, but the backstory is the best part about it. It really is.
Yeah.
I've got 2 incredible writers that are putting the scenes together and the scenarios and the episodes. So it's going to be great. So look for that, RP Saviors.
Okay. All right. Now, and I've got the crawler up here. I meant to put it up earlier. If you want to find out more about Michael Beran and all that he's doing, www.wildlifecommandcenter.com. Go there, check out all his fantastic work, or just Google Michael Beran and Barehands Beran.
Apparently, everything will come up if you do that.
It will. It sure will. It sure will.
If you have a raccoon falling into your hot tub.
Right. Yeah.
Google Michael Beran.
Yep.
All right, Michael. Hey, listen, man. This has just been absolutely amazing. One, we're gonna meet up when you come out here. 2, I want to have you back on later on, and let's get updated with what you got going on. Is that something you'd be able to do with us?
Are you talking later on today?
No.
or are we talking later on in the future?
In the future.
Well, later on in the future. But if you could do a live shoot while you're doing the bats, that'd be really cool too.
Oh man.
That's not a bad idea.
I would just love to have you back on and see what else is going on in your life in a few months from now, man. And this has just been absolutely a blast. I've loved having you on here, man. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as we have.
Oh yeah, I have.
All right. So now getting back into the bare hands of wrestling with things, we have a little thing we like to do towards the end of our show called Random Questions of Insanity. No voice. There it is. He follows me wherever I go. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, it's a little game we like to play with y'all. There's no wrong answer. But there's one question that has a wrong answer, but we'll actually, I think I know where
we've already answered that question though, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll move on.
But we have 2 base questions, and I think these are fair enough for him.
I think so too. Yeah.
So we're going to start with number 1, which is, what is the best James Bond film?
Got to be Octopussy.
Oh, I think that's our second Octopussy, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yes.
Yeah,
I should have been tallying all the time, but no.
Okay.
But honestly, that's not everybody's first choice of Bond film, and we've only heard it twice.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, real quick, you see that comment in there, Jenna Hackathorn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Jenna. She is my animal events coordinator and marketing director, and she is an amazing actress herself.
Ooh.
And this year she got published as a model in 9 magazines.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
All
Jenna
right.
Hackathorn.
Well, maybe we'll have to have Jenna on.
She's a much better storyteller than I am.
Well, then we'll have to have her on just to find that out, because I know you've got many more tales to tell, I'm sure. All right, so second of our base questions, and this sets the stage for the remaining questions. What is your favorite sandwich, and what all is on it?
All right, my absolute favorite. This is easy too. My absolute favorite is peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwiches. So I put peanut butter down, and then I slice bananas real thin on the round, and then I drizzle honey over the top of it. And if you've never had one, go make one right now you will be sold.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
My absolute. And you know what else about that is I can be eating a peanut butter and banana honey sandwich and walk into my ringtail lemur enclosure, and in 2 seconds my whole sandwich is gone.
Right.
2 seconds.
I was gonna say that you're just a walking lemur family at that point.
Oh man, all 5 of them jump on me at the same time and start grabbing that sandwich because they love it so much.
Oh yeah. Well, now have you tried peanut butter, banana, and mayonnaise?
I've heard about that.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm a mayonnaise fan, especially if it's a tangy mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'll try it. I'll make one and see if Jenna will eat it.
Here, I heard this is good.
Oh, hey, I'll tell you a quick story about Jenna. When she first started with me, I had a bucket full of snakes that I had caught out of a pond. And we were in the office and I said, hey, Jenna, reach in here and see what it is. And she did. She got bit like 5 times.
Oh, no.
Like, right in a row. I was like, oh, you're going to work really well. You're going to fit right in. You know?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah. No. Don't, when we do meet, please don't have a bucket with you.
Right.
Because
please do and film it just for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will have a falcon with me.
Yes. All right. So, Andy, let's go ahead. I'll let you start off with one of the random questions of insanity.
Yeah. What was your favorite toy growing up?
So I had this big red engine, like a fire truck locomotive. And I used to really love that thing because it had like a bucket on it. Now I'm the oldest of 4 boys. One of the things we loved to do was take the little green army soldiers and put them in the bucket and light them on fire and then push it around and pretend like, you know, it was a 911 fire going on.
Right.
You know, because those little green army guys, they burn really good.
I was about to say, what was it about those? I mean, one, every guy I know has melted a Green Army man.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day. And yes, they were incredible. They had to be horribly toxic because
yeah, definitely.
Like that, you could light a forest fire in no problem with one of those.
Yeah, let's not talk about polyvinyl chlorides.
Right.
You know, that's what that black smoke with the little wisps come off of it.
Right.
Yeah, I had this fire engine, this big fire engine. It was our favorite toy.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. Well, and this is one of my new questions. Mountain bike or 10-speed?
Mountain bike all day long. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All
10
right.
speeds go fast, but they're fragile. And I'm a rough guy.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
oh yeah. I'm photoing all the way.
Yeah. I have to have something that can take some punishment.
There you go. All right. Andy.
So it's your night to order pizza for the group. What are we getting?
We always go Supreme. And I put anchovies on it. So Supreme with anchovies. That's my favorite. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And when I say Supreme, I mean extra cheese. I mean all the veggies. I mean Italian sausage and pepperoni and anchovies. That's my favorite.
Okay.
All right. Thick or thin crust?
Thick crust. I like thick crust. Oh. I like thick crust with stuffed cheese.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, man. There was like slice is a meal for you.
Yeah. So I went to college in Santa Barbara, and there was a place down there called Woodstock Pizza that would bake the sauce into the crust.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was incredible. It was just wonderful. Yeah.
Especially after a good night of hanging out and doing things.
Right. What did kids do in college? I don't know. I was a good kid. I studied.
Totally awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one thing you can't do, but if you could, you would?
One thing I can't do, but if I could, I would. So I am horrible at improv. I am just the worst at improv, and so I wish I could be better. You know. Like I need to take some. I seriously need to take some classes.
We know some guys out in Colorado Springs, the Oxymoron.
Oh yeah.
Group. They actually classes and stuff. So yeah, if you're ever out that way, or maybe if they're traveling, we'll hook you up.
Oh, cool. And apparently Jenna hates the pizza.
Yeah. But Jenna is really, really good at improv. Like super good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, but I just don't know why I always hesitate, like it doesn't pop into my mind. Like I've watched other people do it and they're just so smooth and so good. And they just get the beat,
Yeah. You gotta learn to play the pause. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Andy, go ahead. Let's get one more in here.
Okay. Your food is bad at a restaurant. Do you say anything?
I normally do not. I usually eat everything. And another thing about me, and Jenna can back this up. She's gone out to eat with us a couple of times. I let the waitress order my food.
Oh, okay. No, I've done that. I've done that a couple of things. Like, what do you recommend?
Well, we like to take it a step further. I like to point out to us, like, I usually ask them, I say, are you a professional waiter, waitress? And they say, yes. I was like, well, then you probably know what's the best thing on the menu. And I was like, I'm a 57-year-old white man. There's not too much that surprises me anymore. Could you surprise me, please?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so
been there, done that.
Yeah.
And so I usually let the waitress, but if my food is bad, I usually just eat it.
And then never go back.
I usually don't bring it to anyone's attention.
Okay.
Now I will give them a review.
Oh, for sure.
I'm a big reviewer.
Yeah.
And if you get less than a 4-star review out of me, it's really bad.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm one of those guys that bumps everybody's reviews up because I'm usually a 4 or 5. I usually find some reason for them to be great.
Know? Yeah.
But if the food's really, really bad, I usually will give them a poor review, a 3,
right.
and say why, but I usually just eat it.
Yeah.
Never make a scene.
Say, you can review this show if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Okay. I got one last one for you. And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but where's your happy place?
My happy place, definitely outside with the animals,
Yeah.
Anywhere I can sit outside with the animals. We've got a kangaroo. His name is Tyson, and he loves campfires. Like I'm not even kidding you. And so we've got this place where we build bonfires at night, and Tyson will hop over and he'll put his arm on you and he'll just sit there beside the fire, and he just loves that fire.
Oh, that's incredible.
It's crazy. And then I've got a huge enclosure with ringtail lemurs in it, and they love me the most. And so I can go in, I can be in the worst mood.
Butter banana honey sandwiches.
Oh, I know. Right. Or I might be in a bad mood, or I might be a little grumpy, and they'll say, hey, why don't you go hang out in the lemur pen real quick? So I'll go out there and they jump on me and they're purring and cueing like they do, and that just makes you happy right away.
Dude,
that's incredible.
Everybody needs a lemur pit.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
You really do.
Or some other thing,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, definitely not a raccoon pit.
No.
No, raccoon pits are bad.
Unless you're drinking buddies with the raccoons, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Good point. Or they're supplying the beer, and
right. Yeah.
As long as you don't got to pay for it, they're cool. Which would lead back to my college years. All right, Michael, thank you so much for being a part of the show with us.
Man,
today.
Thank you.
And please be careful getting with the bats and going up on the road today. But man, yeah, let's bring you back. Was so glad that you were able to take time out with us, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And yes, please connect with me, and we will try and meet up on the 23rd, sir. I would love to hang out and eat some dinner with you and hear some more of these tales, because this is just incredible. I've been very excited to get you on here, so I'm so glad that you were able to come on. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Michael.
Truly appreciate you.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all.
Incredible.
Right, we'll talk to you again soon, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
And, we will we'll say goodbye to Michael. And Andy, we got to get our commercial in here, correct?
Yeah. Let's do that. So let's sit back and learn a little bit more about Mrs. A's famous
moment with Mrs. A's salsa.
Yeah, here we go.
Heyo, do you like salsa? Are you tired of pretending you like what the mass-produced companies are giving you? Well, now you don't have to. That's right, Mrs. A's famous salsa buena is here to treat you right. They got 3 flavors like medium, hot, and salsa verde, all made with fresh, all-natural ingredients in a unique blended, authentic salsa with fresh cilantro and no onions. That's right, no more onion breath for you. It's the perfect complement to your favorite foods like burritos, steaks, flautas, nachos, enchiladas, chicken, and of course, chips. But there's so much more. Mrs. A's famous salsa buena has gone from a reward for her students now to the shelves in over 500 stores in California, and now it's expanded to Oregon, Nevada, Wyoming, and soon across the U.S. of A. Amazingly fresh, all-natural, authentic, and delicioso, Mrs. A's famous salsa buena is near you. To find out where, go to www.mrsafamous.com, and you'll also get some great recipes, info, and so much more. Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. Reward yourself and eat buena.
Heyo, yes.
Heyo.
Muy buena. Mrs. A, yeah. And again, if you even have a slight inkling about liking salsa, just try this salsa. Trust me, you will be falling in love with how delicious that salsa is. It is amazing. And if you don't believe us, we have a little video clip on our webpage of how delicious it actually is. So, because you'll see the shock in the faces, like, oh, because it's that good. So, just saying. All right. So thank you again, Mrs. A, and again, Michael Beran, Barehands, dude.
Amazing. So amazing.
Coming out this way, I'm going to like cancel things so I make sure I can have dinner with him.
There you go.
Because he'll probably bring like a bucket of snakes. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
just because now that I said that, he's going to be. Like,
I know.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
I hope he does, and I hope there's a camera there filming it. I just. I need to see it.
I brought you a little gift bag.
Yeah, right. So. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Have to be snakes. Dude. Or spiders. Oh my gosh.
Oh right? Yeah.
Because I love spiders. Yeah. But yes. So now, speaking of creepy and crawly, we've got a guy in the wings that's all about the creepy and crawly world of sports. Do you got his intro?
I got it. Here it is.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
Do you like sports? Do you like your sports in your face? Do you like to know the truth about your sports? Well, now it's time to get real and get truthful with all things sports. That's why now, on the Random Kristian Show, it's time for the man, the myth, the one who brings sports all to the interweb world. It is time for Tommy the Truth.
Where's Tommy?
Where'd he go?
Oh, I'm right here. I'm right behind this because I'm really embarrassed of what I'm about to say about the NBA at the moment, National Basketball Association.
Okay, what's up? What are your feelings on the NBA at the moment?
The NBA, I will now call it the National or the NDA, No Defense Association. They don't play defense anymore. All it is, and he knows, Golden State fan.
Yeah.
All they do is put up the rock and shoot. No boxing out. Right. No defense. They changed the rules. No hand chucking. And I'm watching the games. I go, is anybody going to box out? Is anybody going to try to play some type of defense?
You can't even be. It's not like the old days where you can't be physical at all. There's nothing to it. It's almost like football because you just, if you touch somebody, it's an instant flat foul. It's a penalty. They might as well start just kicking field goals to each other and calling it that basketball.
And this all started, and he knows he's a Golden State fan down there, my man.
Yeah.
With Stephen Curry launching up the rock, and now everybody's shooting him from half court, and these guys aren't even going out and playing defense on him, just letting them shoot. And what I love from back in the day, players from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s would love playing right now. Would love playing. They'd all score 60 points a game.
Right.
Because there's no defense.
Right, but then you also got to think about now, back when the Warriors started coming back in, and they were playing the small game. They were playing the run and shoot. They were boom, boom. They were aggressive. They were super aggressive. And I'll refer to back when I was living in Flagstaff. We used to watch. We have kids from the reservation, the reservation schools from Navajo Reservation. These guys, Chin Lee was one of the schools. Just absolutely amazing to watch because they were running, gunning, just constantly, just boom, boom. And the kids from Flagstaff and surrounding areas, they couldn't keep up with them.
Right.
There was just no way because they get wiped out after the first quarter. You'd see them sucking wind, and these guys are just running circles around them. And they were playing an aggressive game, and that's what it's about, and like you said, because of the rules now, you can't be aggressive. You can't block somebody out. You can't, if they go up against the board, you can't get after them. It's stupid. It's becoming
I see people constantly going over the back for a rebound, and they don't even get called anymore. And that back in the day, that was over the back. You're going over my back to get the ball. That should be called. Right. And the thing is, players from this day and age, I was thinking, who could play back then with that aggressive defense? I'll give you 4 names. Joel Embiid from the 76ers could play back then because he's a big, strong guy. Adonis, the Greek freak. The Greek freak he could play back then. LeBron James could play back then because he's big and physical. And probably Draymond Green because he's a tough guy. But not too many players, I'm telling you right now, couldn't go back and play in time with that defense. Stephen Curry, I remember Allen Iverson, he only weighed 165 pounds when he played for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right.
When they played against the Lakers, he was going up against Giants. He'd go right down the middle, and sometimes he'd get the crap knocked out of him, sometimes he wouldn't. And I hear Shaq and all these older players saying, if these guys did that to us, they're getting knocked out coming down that middle. Stephen Curry, we're going to have somebody out on him. Kobe Bryant's going to be out on him. As soon as he passes the half-court mark, he's going to be out playing defense.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Kobe. He's going to be out there at half court playing defense. They didn't want to go venture out and do that. So I think those are only maybe a few of the guys could probably play back then. But everybody, I feel, from the 80s, 90s, 2000s could play right now and just relish. They can play because it's easy. Charles Barkley, all those guys have said, man, I wish I was playing right now. These guys don't play no defense. They take nights off. Load management. Like Jordan says, we used to play every game of the season because the fans wanted to come see us, and now there's load management and stuff like that. He goes, I used to play with a sore ankle. I used to play with all this stuff. Guys won't do that now. It's like they're soft. Okay, let me give you an example. This is right here. You see what this is? Toilet paper, okay? They're soft as this roll of toilet paper. I can take it out, wind it up, and tear it apart. They're soft. They're all soft. I saw Westbrook the other night, Russell Westbrook, in a game whining about getting heckled. And these people could have paid their good money, ringside seats, had him kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
For heckling. Because they're soft. You know what Michael Jordan used to do? I had a heckler. I would just shoot the shot, and then we'd go in. I'd point him. I'd go like that or whatever. I'd point to him. But you never had the person kicked out of a game. These players are just soft.
This is a trend it's a scary trend that's happening now. I don't know if you saw this, but there were Raiders fans who were kicked out of the stands for having anti-Josh McDaniels posters.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding?
And no, there's video on YouTube of people getting asked to leave because of the posters that they had ripping on the coach.
It's
Wow.
like if you're a fan, you just have to sit there at the game and act like a robot. You can't show any emotion at all. Nothing.
Right. Yeah, and that's why we go to games. We go to games to get excited. We go to games to have fun. We go to games to see defense sometimes.
Heckling, if it's out of control, it's like they're talking about their family or weird stuff like that, I can understand. But if it's just basic heckling, like you suck and this and that and you stink, I've heard KD yell at people back. KD, Mr. Burner account, so I can cut down people on my burner account.
Right.
Say, oh, I know that you can't fight. Pointing at the guy, I know that you can't fight. No, KD is. I'll name the players that are so soft. Kevin Durant, soft. Kyrie Irving, soft. He's more concerned with the world being flat, and then little micro robots inside of the vaccine, so he won't take a vaccine, so he can't play in certain states. That's Kyrie Irving. And I remember when he was in Cleveland, LeBron was the only one that can control him. When they won their championship in Cleveland, he goes, I want to be a leader. He goes to Boston, wasn't a leader. He's just not that type of dude. Yeah. He's kind of like a cancer wherever he goes. Westbrook, he's soft. He goes to all these different teams, great at the triple doubles, but he can never win. And he's soft as butter. He's just soft. Yeah. And Harding, same other guy plays. What does he play for? Houston. He played for Oklahoma City. He's more concerned with just going to all the strip bars than playing an NBA championship, getting one. And he's soft. They're all soft.
And now let me just say this, because I think this applies to a lot of the pro athletics nowadays. Ever since free agency started coming in, okay, these guys all became pampered too, because anybody will pay or trade up to get that one player to help them get through the playoffs so they can maybe get a championship or something. And you see this happening in every sport. And not only did it make, I think it's created a soft players because they want to get pampered. They want to get, oh yeah, I'll play if you give me this. You know what? No, you play because you love the game and you're going to show everybody that you're the best at what you do. That's what that's about. It's not about getting the extra contract or the extra endorsements or whatever. But then free agency has also ruined any rivalries between teams, because that was back in the days, dude. I mean, I think that finally faded out in the late 80s with the free agency just destroying so much of the pro sports rivalries and stuff. I mean, you talk, just in California alone, dude, Raiders, 49ers, that was always, it's a preseason game every year. But it's always just, oh my gosh.
Well, it's guaranteed. Guaranteed contracts. They still get paid. And even in the NBA, you can score 2 points a game and get 2 rebounds and still make $20, $30, $40 million.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. And it's the truth. Guaranteed money. And I'm not saying the players don't deserve it. I'm not going to be one of those persons that says that, because the owners make, millions or whatever, billion dollar team. But to me, a person pays the money to come see you play, and then you take the night off because it's load management, or you just want to take the night off, and they're coming to see you, and it's like they've wasted their time completely. And I feel sorry for the fans when that happens. I really do.
Yeah. It really, it's really taken a lot. That's why I've kind of given up a lot on a lot of sports, because
I will watch the playoffs more with the NBA. They seem they let things go a little bit more. I'll watch that, and the NBA championship. But the season stuff, I don't even want to watch. I'd rather watch, the NCAA championship, the Final Four. Those guys tend to play a little bit more defense and stuff. So I'll watch college basketball over NBA basketball.
Yeah, dude, I'll watch hockey any day of the week, because those guys go out and they play.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing I want to ask you, because I don't watch too much hockey, but they're trying to not allow them to fight anymore. Is that true?
I haven't heard anything about that, but I've been in a weird bubble for past few months.
I heard they don't want them to fight as much, but I still see them do. I know I saw a goalie to goalie fight the other night, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's when there's, and that sport still has its rivalries. That sport still, that's the sport. Seriously. And it's not because of the fighting. It's because those guys go out there, they play, they're aggressive, they're physical, there's defense. They're in each other's faces. But you know what? When the game's over, they all walk by, high-five each other, shake each other's hands. because that's what it's about. It's a game.
And you know the thing about NHL players, the thing about it is that I've never heard of NHL players getting in trouble. They're all family oriented. They never get in trouble. When do you hear them players getting in trouble or whining about salary or this and that? It's always about the team and family. When have you heard that? They don't get in trouble.
Yeah. No, it's truth. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's and they all look out for each other, man. They really do.
Yeah.
They
I've always felt,
but they always look out for each other.
Right. And I've always felt that as far as getting paid, because there's so much pain in football, the CTE that's coming out. You know, most players are playing 5 or 10 years and they're done because of the CTE. They don't want to have their brain damage, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I've always thought football should be the number one paid, and actually NHL with the pain and the physicalness of that. I've seen one NHL game, and it's insane how hard they hit each other, and the speed is unbelievable. They should be always number 2 paid, and I think basketball 3 and baseball 4, but it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. God, no. All right. So what else is going on in the world of sports for us right now, Tommy? Come on.
Well, another thing I'm embarrassed to say, I'm a North Carolina Tar Heels fan. Been a fan since Dean Smith, and we are the first. Okay, hold on. I got to cover myself up again. We are the first number 1 seed. We were ranked number 1 during the season. To not make the NCAA tournament in the history of the tournament. Very embarrassing. And Mr. Davis, the coach of the Tar Heels, decided not to play in the NIT. Usually they go to the NIT. You go to the NIT. He refused, which is very unusual for the refuse to go.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand that he wants to get ready for next year. Like, NIT is not good enough for us, but I still think he should go to get the players some playing experience.
Sure.
But he said not going, and that's not normal North Carolina way. It's not to go to the NIT if you're invited.
Yeah. Well, you know it's a weird year for the NCAA tournament if my alma mater makes it. Gauchos, number 14 seed. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't think Duke made it. I don't believe that Duke made it. Like, the powerhouse is Duke.
Yeah.
It didn't make it, I don't think. North Carolina didn't make it. So all those traditional, I don't know if Kentucky made it or not. Kansas is there. Kansas, defending champion, beat my Tar Heels last year. But a lot of the traditional ones, and Krzyzewski's gone. They're going to take a little bit of a fall, Duke, because Krzyzewski's gone. That's going to take some time.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of these teams, like Houston, I guess Houston's the number 1 team. These younger teams from these different programs are coming up, and I love seeing the parity, so I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well, and the Gauchos are they kind of reminds me of what was it back? I mean, and this was several years ago, mind you, because I don't follow much college basketball, but I remember what was it, Gonzaga? I think
Gonzaga's still around. They're up there. Yeah.
No, I know, but back in the day, like, nobody's even really thought of Gonzaga as being any kind of contender.
Right.
They came out of nowhere and just started smacking people around during the March Madness, and there was like, who the hell is this team? You know, where did this school come from?
Yeah.
And then they became a force to be reckoned with for a while.
Yeah, and that's UCSB's on that track. The last 3 years they've made the tournament the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
So because I remember that's the one day of the year that I break out my UCSB athletics shirt and wear it. So it's no, I think you're right. It's the program's definitely on the rise there.
Right.
I know a lot of the coaches, and I think that's even with football, NCAA football, they're complaining about the transfer portal and players can just leave. But you know what? I say to the coaches can leave whenever they want. And a lot of times their salaries are guaranteed when they leave.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can leave whenever you want, I'm sorry, your player should be able to leave if he's not happy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So.
All right, so we got March Madness going on. Do you got any faves that you think you're gonna be seeing at the end here?
My team's not in it, so I really can't pick one. But heck, from Texas, Houston, why not?
There you go.
Okay,
so
there we go.
Since I was born in Texas, so my team's out of it. So,
well, I guess I'll just go with. Are the Jayhawks even in it? Kansas Jayhawks?
They're in it. I believe they made the tournament. Yep, they're defending champions from last year.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go with them because I'm out here in Kansas City.
They go back to back, and then you have the Chiefs. Man, it's heaven. You know, Chiefs and Jayhawks winning the whole thing. Yes.
God. Yeah. This sounds nuts for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm also a Mizzou fan, so but I don't think they're out there in it. So, but it's still that's always a great rivalry out here for some reason because Missouri Kansas.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
So good times for sure.
Yeah.
So and Andy, I'm sure you're going with UCSB.
Well, so I fill out a bracket every year. I can't, in good conscience, have a 14 seed run the table. It's bad bracket, right? It's a bad bracket. But I used to be very scientific in filling out my bracket. I would look at like the percentages of what people are choosing, but I decided to change it up this year. So my son just got done playing basketball in a church-run league, right? And they modeled all of the team names after college teams' names. So Xander was on the Boilermakers, which is Purdue, right?
Okay.
So I have chosen Purdue to go all the way.
Wow. Are they in the tournament?
Believe it or not, they're in the tournament, and they're seeded like a 2 or a 3.
And your team is the Gachos, you said?
Yeah, UCSB Gauchos. That's where I went to school.
So Gacho, isn't that a Spanish term for
a Spanish cowboy, essentially?
Spanish cowboy. Yeah. Oh, I got you. So how far do you think they're going to go? Let's hear some type of prediction.
Okay, I mean, like what? I think they're playing. The 14 seed plays like a 4 or a 5.
So if they get past the first round, you'll be pretty happy.
I just want them to be close in the first round. I had to pick them to win the first round at least.
Right. Okay, got you.
So, and I mean, there's always some fun upsets in the first round, but that's as far as I'll ride my team this year.
Okay. Side note here, Andy's son's church league team was named after a drink.
Yes, Boilermaker.
Technically named after the college team that was named after the drink. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy.
Maybe doing shots during the thing would help you.
With college basketball, my grandson Gage is actually pretty good at betting on college basketball.
Oh, really?
And I used to do parlays and teasers over unders. I don't do that. I just do fantasy football. That's all I do, and he does pretty good at it. And it's like he follows it more than I do. I follow more of the NBA stuff, and I follow North Carolina. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now, and real quick, just because I find this always interesting to find out how people think. When you guys, let's say you do make a bet or a wager with somebody, is there a point spread, or you just go win or lose?
It depends on the game, obviously, but I always put $5 on a bracket game with my friends. Like that's a safe bet.
Take a point spread? Do you?
So college
bracket?
Yeah, college doesn't work that way. So college is just straight up win. Whoever wins the game is done. Yeah. And but if you're betting on an individual game and there's a spread, that has to be agreed on while you're making the bet.
Well,
so
exactly. I usually, if I bet with somebody personally, we'll just do both. We'll do straight across, and then we'll do points. Mostly football stuff, but straight across, and then we do points. So we bet twice.
Yeah,
like $5 each one.
Yeah. Well, because I always said that a man bets win or lose. You don't get technical with point spreads or anything. It's just win.
Sure.
Loss, that's it.
Well, yeah. And like I said, if I'm betting with Tommy here, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to take the points with New England.
Right.
Like, and that's, and if he takes it, that means I'm betting the spread. But if I say I'm taking New England to win, then the spread's off.
Right.
So
and that's the way you should bet.
I remember
I agree.
When I was a teenager into my 20s, I used to pick the games every week in NFL just straight across. And then I would see how I did each week. And at the end of the season, I see percentages. And then my goal was always to pick 60% or above. And I felt I was doing pretty good. And if I picked below 60%, I said I sucked. But yeah, I used to love doing that. I don't have time anymore, but that's the way I used to pick the whole dang week. And then there's contests that come out in the newspaper you can pick, and on the internet you can pick, who's going to win or lose. And then the Monday night game usually was the tiebreaker and you have to pick the score.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. I already got lost right there. You guys nerded out on sports.
So in other words, let's say if he picks a game and he takes the spread, let's say if he picks a game, he goes, it's 3-point spread. And he goes, I'll take, New England and 3 points. He's already ahead 3-0 before the game even starts.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Okay, so here's a bet. All right, that Tommy, I will bet you that as a Raider, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't get past the third game. I bet that he is out and hurt by the third game. Oh, we lost your audio, Tommy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think we lost his audio. No!
Tommy.
I think he's typing.
Dude. It was working so...
I know. Like, it was working perfectly. Did he mute himself?
I maybe.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we got you.
Hello.
We got you.
So the over/under is 3, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, God. I'll take that. I think he'll play more than 3 games without being hurt. I think he'll get to his 4th or 5th. Now,
okay.
Really, really quick. You got your quarterback. I think you lost your tight end, right?
We just did. Yes, traded to the Giants. Yeah.
I think Garoppolo's a winner, but hopefully they put they get a better defense around him, right? But he's a winner.
Yeah.
He's won like 42 games, 40 as a starter, so he's a winner if he could stay healthy.
Yeah. No, they need to draft a quarterback here and have Garoppolo mentor him.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, I just thought, yeah.
Well, see, I think he'll play. Okay, well, what a $5 bet? I say that he goes more. He'll play more than the first 3 games without getting injured.
Okay.
And you think it's 3 and under?
I think it's 3 and under.
Okay.
The end of, if he's still up at the end of the third game, you win $5.
Yay! I could afford a cappuccino at Starbucks. I'm so fucking happy. Oh, tucking happy. Sorry, tucking happy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Easy. All right. So what do we got going on? Okay. So we picked our picks for the March Madness. Any other quick sports updates that we need to hear?
Nothing right now. I know I'll have more next week.
Just a big crazy freak.
A lot of free agency going on in football right now, and everybody's picking up different players and stuff like that. So I'll probably talk about something a little bit different next time around, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to figure it out.
And then NBA playoffs start soon.
Coming really soon. And now I'll have some NBA picks as well. I'm a Spurs fan, but golly, dude. We had our Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan. We had our big 3, and I really think that Popovich is probably going to retire after this year and go into the front office.
Yeah,
that's probably what he needs. That's probably what he needs to do. He had his time. We had our time.
No, for sure.
Hey, now, and just FYI, Popovich, former Warrior.
That's right. Yeah.
Damn good coach. I mean, he had his big 3 dudes, and they're gone. And ever since then, we haven't. I mean, we're just in the cellar. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tommy, dude, let's pick this up back next week and
absolutely
how we're doing with our NBAs and how our March Madness things are. I mean, seeing that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this will be quite interesting, and I'll take the points.
You'll take the points.
All right,
you can have the points. You can have. What if Garoppolo's going to play 6 games? I think he's saying Garoppolo's going to play 6 games at least without getting hurt.
Okay. All right. I'll take 5.5.
5.5. Might make it 5. Oh, he'll get hurt in the middle of the game, so that counts. 5.5. Half a quarter. Half would be a quarter. First and second half. First and second quarter.
Yeah. There you go.
Winner. All right. Wait, I'm betting against my own team. There's something. It's
starting to look like a rebuild. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. And they're really in Vegas, so who cares? All right. Well, Tommy, let's pick this up next week, and
okay.
We're excited to see what happens, brother. Give us some updates, and in the meantime, thank you so much. Keep all those great posts that you got coming too.
Yeah.
Man. I love seeing those on there, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to Colorado actually in the morning, and I'll be back on Monday. Though I'm going to go visit family, but I'll be back Monday.
Okay.
Right on, brother. Thank you so much, Tommy. We'll see you next week, Bo.
Peace out, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Tommy.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Mr. Tommy the Truth giving us sports reality. All right. So, we got to get going. So, real quick, want to say thank you again to Michael Beran and Wildlife Command Center. Make sure you go check him out. Anything that he's got involvement with, www.wildlifecommandcenter.com, or just Google Michael Beran's Beran.
Right.
Beran, by the way. Also, thank you again, Tommy, for giving us your sports updates and talking with us about that. We've got next week we have pro tester content creator Shisalo is going to be on the show with us. This guy's a nut. Literally, I've seen some of the clips of what he does, and it's going to be a blast. I know that, but some of the things if you get a chance, just Google Cecil Lowe, Lowee. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Trust me, kids. I want to thank everybody out there for joining in with us, listening to us. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, spread the word. Tell 94.9 KCMO they need us to come in and replace their the big shoes they're trying to get filled. And for everybody else, thank you. Like and review us. We do appreciate you. Mrs. A. Salsa Buena. Mwah, magnifico. Trust me. Check them out, www.mrsafamous.com. And Good Wives Network, where we are available on there. We're going to be on Wednesdays, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then in the late night hours, we'll be around midnight is what I'm hearing. So make sure you check them out. Amazon, Apple TV. Oh my gosh, Roku.
Android TV. Yeah, Roku, Android TV, Apple TV.
Yeah. So Google them. You'll find out. All right, guys, we got to get going. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Central Time. Peace out, kids. Love you.